Before you start your job search, I want to help you prepare for the storm. See, we're all in a storm together, and it's the biggest storm of our lifetime. The problem is we're all in different sized boats. So many of these boats are very small and they lack provisions to really help us be successful against this kind of storm. In America, according to Forbes magazine, 29% of households right now have less than $1,000 worth of savings. They don't have a whole lot to go. It's only going to take a couple months before they're very much in trouble. Almost 3 in 10 adults have no emergency savings whatsoever, according to these same studies. So these people are going to be in a dire situation very, very quickly. Now, some of us are in bigger boats, and we can get through this storm a little easier. And one of the reasons that I'm doing this is because I want to help a lot of people. I know I've helped many thousands of people with this before, and now there's greater need than anything else, so I'm here to help you guys. I want those who are in the bigger boats also to think about how can I help someone else too. There is no shortage of people that you can help during this time. It might be, helping that college kid who lost their job at the restaurant and they need a little help. See if you can help them out, all right? So ideally, the other thing we want to do with our community here is take all our boats and hook them together so that they're an island. Okay, it's going to be, when you have that kind of support with each other, you can get more done, and it's a safer way to go. Okay, you don't have to do this alone. Now, 3 things I want you to do in terms of getting your boat shored up. When I say shored up, I mean reinforce the boats. We're going to close the hatches. We're going to make it, a more dependable boat, to get us through this time, because this is something we are going to get past. Okay, be assured that will happen. We can make a difference here and do the right thing. So, first thing I want you to do: take advantage of any federal or local assistance that's out there available for you. Unemployment. I know there's a lot of issues and a lot of different circumstances, but everything you can, I want you to apply for everything you can. And believe me, the big corporations are grabbing up everything they can from this situation. You should too. Okay, please do that. Business owners should also apply for any small business loans and assistance they can qualify for as well. Secondly, what I want you to do is put together a budget. Now, listening to a guy talk about budgeting, I know it's horrible. Nobody wants to hear that. But this is an important part. We need to know what our money burn rate is, okay? We can't ignore this reality and be surprised by this in the end. That's not okay. So I want you to take some time, figure out what your expenses are, and put together a very simple budget. This could be something you put in a journal. It could be something that's on a simple spreadsheet, or there's lots and lots of free apps out there that will help you track your expenses. The third thing, I want you to cut costs, okay? Take a look around, and there's a lot of costs that you probably are not going to need during this time. I want you to pay attention to those things and see what kind of things we can get rid of to save a little money during this time. You might cut subscriptions. Subscriptions are those things that a little tiny amount of money, but I got 25 of them. That ends up being quite a bit of money each month. So let's be aware of that. You may need to quit any courses that are not directly going to help you in your career or your job search. Hold off on those. Might have to take care of your own housekeeping, eat at home more, mow your own yard, plant a garden, maybe move into a cheaper place. You may want to work out at home, ask for help, get a roommate. There's a lot of things that we can do to help us cut costs during this time. Take a look at those things, make some decisions so that we can weather this storm, okay? Now, the fourth thing I want to talk about around this, I said 3. There's 3 things you need to do, but there's a 4th opportunity. Remember in Forrest Gump, when Forrest Gump and Lieutenant Dan, they went out in the storm on the shrimp boat, and they had a really tough time that night. But as it turns out, the fact that they were fighting to survive that storm, as opposed to the other people who owned the boats who were sitting at home watching TV, it put them in a position to dominate their market. They ended up being the only boat that was available because all the other boats were destroyed in the storm, and they ended up having a market advantage from that. That's a great thing. There will be things like that are happening. I know that's a story, but there are real life things that have happened in this. So let me give you a couple of examples here. Have you ever heard of any companies like Disney, IBM, General Motors, HP, Trader Joe's, FedEx, Microsoft. Those are all companies that were born in a storm. They were all companies that were born during and started during a depression or a recession. So now think of those companies: Disney, IBM, General Motors, Microsoft, FedEx. These are companies. Think of all the people that they've hired over the years. That's amazing. It's an incredible number. As a matter of fact, some of them, like FedEx, they're hiring right now. Trader Joe's, they're hiring right now. Okay, so there are going to be opportunities in any kind of storm like this. I want you to understand that, too. Last recession, 2007 to 2009 or 10, we had companies like Uber, Venmo, Pinterest, Instagram, Groupon, Square, Tesla. Have you heard of any of these companies? These are very, very popular companies that have really had life-changing effects and hired a tremendous amount of people. So this is another one of those little opportunities. I want you to look for some of these little startup companies that are going to change the world soon. This is going to be a cool thing. I'm not even mentioning the small businesses that are out there. Small business owners like myself hire 50% of the Americans out there for jobs. So I don't want you to miss these little tiny companies that are starting out. I know a little sign company, and the owner is a friend of mine, and he is taking more signs off of buildings. He's busier now taking signs off of buildings after the pandemic and all of this job loss than he is normally putting signs on buildings. That's pretty interesting. He's making more money now than he was before. You're going to see opportunities like that. We need to be looking for that. Personally, my grandfather Stemmerman, he started a company during the Depression. He was hauling coal in the wintertime and ice in the summertime, and he was able to get good deals on trucks during the Depression because everybody was selling their stuff. And so he bought a truck, started delivering this stuff, and then he bought another truck, and he hired his brother and started hiring other employees, and they actually made it through the Depression with relative ease because they took advantage of the opportunity and got through it. So I want you to understand there are opportunities in the storm that are going to be fantastic for you. So let's go and get those jobs, okay?